Welcome to Grolnok, the Omnivore. Hopefully that intro wasn't too spooky for you. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, we're going to keep on this one. I love it. We got Mana Crypt, we got 2 lands, we got Alpha Authority, which is going to be some great protection for Grolnok. And we do have, got some good land ramp, which we will certainly take that. But yes, welcome to Hypnotoad. You may have seen Get Rock Hypnotoad in the past. We've got Grolnok Hypnotoad. And I'll kind of jump into why we do the whole Hypnotoad thing here in a little bit, but I'm very excited with our opponents bringing to the table. We've got Rog and Togg, which you haven't seen that before. I've built a Voltron Rog and Togg deck, and it's a lot of fun, not gonna lie. So I'm excited to see where our opponents got built. But yeah, if you're looking for a fun commander pair to build, man, those two right there, that's some good stuff. All right, so we've got a Gerblin swinging in for 1. That's going to drop us down to 39, and then we'll jump into our turn. So we've got a pretty good option for next turn. We can already go for some ramp, and I think that sounds pretty good. So let's go ahead and go Windswept Heath. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a dual source. Let's grab ourselves a Tropical Island. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go Tropical Island. Let's go Mana Crypt. And Wolf with Fertile Ground or Haven. I think it's the same. So let's just do this. Let's just tap down green. Let's go Fertile Ground onto Tropical Island. It's going to be 1-2. We'll have 1 colorless left over. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. There we go. We're playing Grolnok, the Omnivore, the all-knowing, the all-consuming. That was me on Thanksgiving. I ate a bunch, and I felt like Grolnok. Minus the glowing colors. We're playing Grolnok. Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3 cards. Then whenever a permanent card is put into your graveyard from your library, exile it with a croak counter on it. Then you may play lands and cast spells from among them that you own in exile with croak counters on them. Alright, so our opponent went for Cleansing Fire. That was pretty good. And I think what we'll do is we'll grab an island on this one. That way we have the land drop for next turn. So at the very least, we've got Grolnok. I'd like to... I think our opponent's probably going to have some spot removal for Grolnok somehow. And so, might wait for Alpha Authority on Grolnok. But if they do have it, they would do it in response to that anyway. So, alright, so let's go and choose Tails on this one. Lost the flip. We were 0 for 1 on those. Drop us down to 34. Let's go for Forest. And yeah, let's go for it. Let's see if they've got some spot removal. Let's get old Grolnok onto the battlefield. And I was not expecting that Cleansing Worldfire. That's pretty good. So anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Playing against Togg and Rog. Playing against Rog, First Strike, Menace, and Trample. And one of the good things about Rog is that it is a 0/1. It costs 0, but it has 3 keywords on it. So if you do want to build a Voltron deck, Rog is awesome. It's just free. It gets out there. Then you start attaching equipment to it, and you have some fun. I'm also playing against Toggo. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Rock with the equipped creature has 1 tap. Sacrifice this sacrifice Rock. This creature deals 2 damage to any target and equip for 1. I played a game with Rog where my opponent was playing Brago, and I got 2 rock activations to get rid of Brago. I think my opponent forgot that the rocks can deal damage. And so I had the best time imagining Rog and Togg just throwing 2 rocks at Brago and getting him off the battlefield. Then my opponent scooped after that. And all right, there we go. So our opponent went Galvanic Blast with Firebrand. So yes, we'll return that back to the command zone. And we're okay with that interaction because we've got some more stuff to do. And then we do not get the swing from Rog. I would have swung in with Rog, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's go and choose Tails on this one. 1 the flip. And let's see what we're drawn to. Drawn to Temple of Mystery. Okay, so let's go for the Scry and the Scurry and the Fever with just a little bit of Insanity. And that's going to be Contingency Plan. And yeah, I do like that. We'll put that on top. That'll be a good thing to have with Grolnok. So we've made the land drop for the turn. Let's go ahead and go for Wolf Willow Haven. And let's go and put this on this basic forest. We could put it on Island if we wanted to and go for Seal of Primordium. Yeah, let's try that. So let's go for Wolf Willow onto Island. Tap down green. Tap down 2 for Mana Crypt. And we can go for Omen of the Sea, but we already know what we have on top, so we kind of like that. So let's go and drop in Seal of Primordium. Get that last color mana. And then anything else. No, we're going to go pass the turn over to our opponent. There we go. We did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors. TCG Player, if you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will apply my affiliate link. That'll allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. So if you do use that link, much obliged. I certainly appreciate it. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders if you want to play Magic Online. Oh, we've got land destruction. Okay, so this is what this is. Or a heavy reliance on land destruction. Let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt for 10% off of your order if you're looking to upgrade your playmat game. And last but not least, started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home, inside of Grolnok's belly, with your arm sticking out, trying to reach that score pad, it is officially free time, so let's have some fun. All right, so we run into contingency plan, and I think we've got enough for Grolnok. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's going to be just enough. Let's go for it, especially if our opponent's going to start blowing up lands. Let's go ahead and get Grolnok down. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then tap down 1 and 2. Okay, so we can get Grolnok onto the battlefield, and then anything else, we will pass the turn. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Grolnok sticks around. If it does, we've got Alpha Authority, and then we can really start to go for the Voltron plan, and hopefully outrace our opponent from blowing our lands up. That's going to be something that we do need to get. Now, this is a graveyard deck, but we do not have Life from the Loam in here, simply because, Grolnok wants to have lands in exile, different things like that. Probably wouldn't hurt to have it in here, but since this isn't a traditional... Well, I guess we could put it in there. It's just kind of weird trying to go for a big Life from the Loam game plan when you don't have the lands in the graveyard normally if they get exiled with Grolnok, so it kind of cuts that off. So it's kind of a little bit of a weird spot. Oh, but yes, the Hypno aspect. So whenever they released Gitrog for Innistrad, many years ago, I feel very old talking about it like it's an old commander, but it is now. I don't know. I was really... Okay, what do we want to sacrifice? So they don't have the activation to go for Seismic Mage. I think what we'll do at this point, we'll just sacrifice Seal of Primordium. I think we're cool with that. And then hopefully next turn that'll retain our mana and we can really kind of start to go from there. But yeah, so I saw Gitrog and I was like, man, what? Let's make a Hypnotoad. I don't know. If you're out in the forest and you saw Gitrog, what would you experience as that person walking through the swamp and stuff? And so that's why we always do, or at least that's why I always go Voltron Enchantress with any legendary frog, because I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. All right, so we are like over 3 on Mana Crypt triggers, and we do run into Sage of Mysteries, and so that is actually pretty good. So we've got some good options. Our opponent is tapped out. Let's go and tap down blue to get down Sage of Mysteries. That way, hopefully, we can make a land drop off of Alpha Authority, potentially. I think that sounds pretty good. So we'll go for Alpha Authority onto Grolnok. That's going to be 1, 2 from Wolfwillow Haven. And actually, just to make sure we've got enough mana, let's tap down Mana Crypt, and we'll tap down green, and we'll tap down 1 Colorless. That way we have access to what we need to go for. So let's go Alpha Authority onto Grolnok. That's going to trigger Sage of Mysteries, which really does work out. There we go. All right, so we're going to mill 2 cards. Definitely going to target ourselves and not our opponent on this one. And let's see what that is. All right, so we go to the Exile Zone. Oh, there's going to be 2 lands, so we can make the land drop for this turn. Okay, so let's go and play Forest out of the hand. And let's go for... I think Contingency Plan would be a good option. We still have access to that. If we go Omen of the Sea, that'll be an additional mill. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go for Omen of the Sea. Let's get that down. That's going to be 2 mill from Sage of Mystery. So let's get the Omen of the Sea trigger on the stack. And actually, if we're trying to exile for that, let's do this. Let's go Sage of Mysteries. That way we can set up the Omen of the Sea. Yes, I like that sequencing just a little bit better. So let's go and put this on the bottom. In favor of the Obing, yes, we will put that on top. That is exactly what we want to see. Oh, excuse me, it goes to the hand. So that's fine. All right, so that's going to be going to the library. That's going to be, let's see what that last enchantment was. It's going to be Snake Umbra. Okay, so we've got Snake Umbra, which is going to give us Totem Armor, which I really do like, or we can end up going for Favor of the Overbeing. I think I kind of like that just a little bit better, so let's do that. All right, step down for 2. Let's put Favor of the Overbeing onto Grolnok, and that's going to be 2 more mill into the graveyard. Look at this value. I love it. That's what... All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one, so we'll take it. We're not getting the craziest frog growing, but if our opponent's going to scoop it up, it looks like they may have no sort of way to deal with Grolnok by dealing direct damage. This is why we ended up going Voltron with Grolnok, because you can get down something like Sage of Mysteries that cares about an enchantment entering the battlefield. And if you've got a lot of Voltron pieces that you can just put on Grolnok, you just have access to a ton of cards to put into the frog bag of holding. So look at that. We're sitting at a 5/5. We've got 2 more mill coming down with Sage of Mysteries, and then we got Favor. Once we swing in an attack, there's going to be 3 more cards that get exiled. So, hey, there we go. We'll take it. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Grolnok, the Omnivore. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we'll keep on this one. I like it. we can make some stuff work with this. We got Ancient Tomb, we got Reliquary Tower, we got Ancestral Master, which is going to be a wonderful Voltron piece for Grolnok. And we do have some ramp with Wild Growth, so we will definitely keep on this one. So let's go and get this started. So let's go and lead off with Waterlogged Grove. Yeah, I like that, because we end up going for Wild Growth onto Waterlogged Grove. And that'll be blue and green, and then Ancient Tomb for Grolnok for next turn. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Anything else, let's go and pass it over to our opponent. But yes, welcome. Hope you're excited to step into Grolnok's belly. We've got a fun matchup. We've got old Stickfingers, old fish Stickfingers versus Grolnok. And so let's have some fun with it. All right, so let's go and lead off with Ancient Tomb. It's going to be Ancient Tomb coming down. Let's tap down, pay 2. There we go, or pay 1 life. Let's go Ancient Tomb. Let's get Grolnok down. There we go. All right, we'll see if our opponent has a 2-mana spot removal. If not, we can get the party started with Grolnok. So we're playing Grolnok, the Omnivore. Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3 cards. Then whenever a permanent card is put into your graveyard from the library, exile it with a Croak counter on it. Then you may play lands and cast spells from among them you own in exile with Croak counters on them. And this can be old fish Stickfingers with Void Winnower, and Shieldred, Whispering One. So that is... those are some good reanimator targets, not gonna lie. All right, so let's go and go for Reliquary Tower. I think that works out. We could try to go double green with Waterlogged Grove, and then maybe hit another green source. Let's try that. Let's do that. All right, so we're gonna pay 1. That's gonna be double green, Ancient Tomb. Let's go Courser of Crufix. Get down Courser. All right, so Omen of the Hunt is on top. Let's go for Reliquary Tower. I was hoping we'd hit a green source, but unfortunately don't. All right, so we draw into that. And then, yeah, let's go and push in. We're looking at a 2/2 for old fish Stickfingers, so we can do this. Let's swing in with Grolnok. I'm coming across for 3, and that's going to be 3 mil. It's going to be Omen of the Hunt. This is going to be a land drop for next turn and another land source ramp. There we go. All right, so swinging it for 3, this is going to drop him down to 37. And then anything else, we've already made the land drop. Yeah, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we covered Grolnok. Let's go and cover old fish Stickfingers. We're playing against old fish Stickfingers. Whenever you cast this spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Old fish Stickfingers, or its power and toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So there we go. And if you're wondering why I call it old fish Stickfingers, whenever I was doing prep for old fish Stickfingers, I started calling old fish Stickfingers, and it just could not. It just made me laugh every time I thought about it. I thought about, see how they have their hand right there, and my goodness, oh no, this is something else. Okay, let's see. We're gonna try this. This is not good. All right, so let's go and sacrifice Courser of Crufix. Yeah, I guess. And then we're still going to have to sacrifice a creature for next turn. Okay. So what do we do on this? Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got up to 6 of mana available right now. So let's go and drop Command Tower just because that gives us access to an extra color. And we need to have a creature down on the battlefield. So let's pay some extra. Yeah. So let's do this. So let's go double green. That's going to be 1, 2. 2 from Ancient Tomb. Let's go Set Champ. We'll get Set Champ down. Let's go for Ancestral Mask onto Grolnok. And so it's going to make it a 5/5, which we still can't push past our opponent's creatures. All right, so anything else is going to pass the turn over to our opponent. Yeah, we can swing him for a 5/5. That'll be meal, but we're walking into a meat grinder over there. Okay, anything else, we'll pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, look at that. I told you those are some spooky reanimator targets, and they're on the battlefield now. So we can't cast even spells. So luckily, we've got a pretty good chunk of 1 and 3 drop auras. I'm not saying the game's over yet, but it's definitely having that constriction on us is something that is not good, and especially with the 10 coming across each turn. So, all right, so we're going to let that 10 come across because we have to sacrifice a creature for next turn. And then we're going to be in a pretty rough spot once we sacrifice Set Champion, so we'll see what we can do about that. But yeah, with old fish Stickfingers, I just really enjoyed thinking about, where is it? Let's get it pulled back up. I really enjoyed thinking about old fish Stickfingers' hand, just looking at fish sticks, and it just kind of made me laugh. So anyway, that's it. That was a long story just for that. But if you want to build old fish Stickfingers and build a dedicated graveyard deck, look at this. This is some good stuff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sacrifice Set Champion. We've got the land drop for the turn. Let's see what we draw into. This is going to be Spider Umbra. And Yeah, I guess we just end up going for Forest. Let's go Spider Umbra onto Grolnok. And that's going to make it a 6. That should make it an 8. And then we can go for either way, one of these is going to be 3. The only downside is we're going to have to sacrifice a creature. Ah, okay. So, well, I guess we just still give it a shot. I mean, because there's nothing else that we can do. So let's go for Weirding Wood. Let's tap down 2, and we'll tap down green. Let's go for Weirding Wood onto Reliquary Tower. That's going to make it a 10-10. And then we go ahead and go for... So we can crack the Clue token. We'll just still go and go for Omen of the Hunt. Why not? It's going to be tapped down for Devil Green. And then we'll go and tap down for blue. Yeah, I think at this point we're just kind of playing out to see what can happen. But it looks like we're not long for this world. So we got Omen of the Hunt coming down. It's going to make it a 12-12. And yes, we'll definitely use that ability. Let's grab ourselves a island, get that onto the battlefield. And now we're looking at a 12-12. We push in as a... Because we're looking at the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We're looking at Terastodon. Yeah, we might as well just go in and get a swing in. I don't think we can bounce back from this. So let's go and get a swing in, see what else we can exile. But you can see what we're trying to go for with Grolnok. We're looking at a 12-12. And get some extra milling. And look at that. So it's going to be Lignify. But unfortunately, we don't have the extra mana for Lignify. That is a bummer. There we go. So we're going to cross for a 12-12. Knock our opponent down. That'll be 15. Our opponent's going to go for Nature's Claim onto Spider Umbra, knocking it down to a 9-9. There we go. Knock him down to 18. That's 12 total commander damage. Than anything else, we will pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, opponent's going to get in on this one. We just want to have some fun. But yeah, that's what we're doing with Grolnok. You can see how easy it is. Simply just to get down Ancestral Mass, start milling some options out of the graveyard. You know, if your opponent does have ways to... You know, we're building a Voltron deck, so if your opponent does have ways to get rid of creatures on the battlefield and you have some sort of sacrifice upkeep clause, yeah, that's pretty rough. All right, so our opponent's going to get the Terastodon trigger. And so let's see what they end up going for. If they do end up going... blowing our stuff up, that gives us creatures. So let's see how they decide to do this. All right, they're going to blow our lands up. I mean, this might give us an option. It's going to give us 3 elephants. So we can at least block on some of these creatures and still kind of keep the value going for next turn. Yeah, we'll see. The only thing is we can't cast Bear Umbra or Lignify because of the even clause. But we still got Sage of Mysteries. And hopefully if we draw into an enchantment, we might be able to go for that. But we're a little low on mana right now, which is a little bit of a bummer. So let's see if our opponent... All right, so we got Void Winter. We're swinging across for a 10-8. And I think we can take it at this point. Because that drops us down to 12. We want to have as many creatures as possible for the Shieldred trigger. All right, so opponent's going to swing across for 10-8. That's going to knock us down to 12. Let's see what this is. Assassin's Trophy on Grolnok. Yes, all right, there we go. So they had a play. There we go. All right, so we'll get Force onto the battlefield. And yes, we'll return Grolnok back to the command zone. So we can't cast Grolnok. Now we're sitting at just a bunch of 3/3. So let's see what we draw into. Maybe we hit a board wipe. Let's go and sacrifice one of the elephant tokens. And we've still got the Clue token to go for. So it's going to be Canopy Cover, which we cannot cast. Let's go for the Clue token crack. It's going to be 1/2. See what we draw into. And let's, because they're going to be able to swing across for 10. We block on one of the creatures. I mean, it still keeps us alive. And then we sacrifice another creature. We'll not see what's going to happen. All right, so we'll pass the turn. But yeah, that's pretty much the name of the game with Grolnok. You know, if our opponent didn't have Void Winter out there, which they do, which means, you know, this is putting them in a position to win the game. But let's say that we were playing just a regular game where Void Winter wasn't out there. Hitting something like Canopy Cover to get under your creature. If you're looking to build Voltron Enchantress and it has green, I cannot stress how good Canopy Cover is. It is just one of the best cards out there. Oh, and excuse me, we can't block. So there we go. Opponent's going to drop us down to -13. Good game to our opponent. That was a very good old Stickfingers into the graveyard. And I was like, let's see if they have a payoff, and they certainly did. Void Winnower and Shieldred got the work done. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.